This is Chapter 7 of A House Tale, which is a documentary of building a small house in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. In this chapter we'll discuss the construction of the house roof and installing the exterior sheathing on the walls. As a reminder, I'm the family dog, Sunny, who is narrating this documentary. If you stumbled on this video, it's recommended that you watch the previous preface and chapters 1 to 6 to get up to speed on how we arrived to the point of installing the roof. It was so disheartening to see all our previous work getting soaked constantly from inclement weather. Installing a roof ASAP became the driving force to get us going early each winter morning. The first thing we had to do to install the roof was to order roof trusses. The use of prefabricated trusses to install the roof would be much quicker than building on-site rafters. With our span being only 14 feet, the truss cost was reasonable, and the weight of each truss was less than 60 pounds. We tried to order directly from the truss company to reduce cost, but discovered that they would not sell directly to the public, thus we had to go through a local lumber retail store. Roof trusses are designed for a multitude of loads. Briefly, they are: dead loads, the weight of itself plus the weight of the sheathing and shingles, items that don't move, as in dead. Live loads, items that can move, such as the carpenters as they walk around on the roof. Snow and wind loads, these loads are somewhat self-explanatory. In our case, with our short span, the trusses were very simple and relatively light, which was exactly what we were looking for. The truss on each end, the gable ends, was different because they were designed to receive nailed sheathing. In addition, sockets would be cantilevered, extend, from them. We also specified an opening on each end truss to access the attic, with an extension ladder. This access method would be simpler than trying to install fold-down stairs inside the house. With the attic space being so small, there would be very limited space for storage, thus easily available attic access was not needed. While we waited for the trusses to be delivered, we started to install some of the wall sheathing. So how does one person hold up a piece of sheathing while nailing? It's fairly simple. We first screwed a short piece of 2x4 lumber to the wall and then lifted the sheathing on top of it, and nailed it in a few places to secure it. Then we removed the temporary 2x4 and finished nailing the sheathing in accordance with the building code nail pattern. The trusses finally got delivered. We got about 5 or 6 trusses installed, and then a friend from our church offered to help to install the others. Thank you. Dad made some spacer gauges to keep the tops of the trusses spaced correctly. We used a string line along the peak of the trusses to ensure they were in alignment with each other. We finished installing them in one day, hallelujah. It was the second week of December, and we had to take several breaks to warm our hands and feet. Before we could start the roof sheathing, we had to install the fascia board, trim board, around the ends of the trusses. They are the grey boards shown in these photos. Although we were planning to install metal trim over these fascia boards later, we went ahead and painted them for added weather protection. We did very little painting on site. We try to pre-paint items in our heated shop before hauling them to the job site. Now it was time to install the roof sheathing, the most difficult part of the project. How do we get the sheathing on the roof? Maybe in his younger years Dad could carry a piece of 4x8 sheathing up a ladder. No way now. My dad had a tractor with a forklift, but it would not reach up to the roof level. Well, as the old saying goes, invention is the mother of necessity. We built a wooden platform on top of the forklift arms to extend its height, and also made the sheathing holder at the same pitch of the roof. This helped to slide the sheathing onto the trusses. There were cold, windy days in which we thought we had a super productive work shift if we got 4 sheets of sheathing installed. Working on a pitched roof, attempting to drag a sheet of sheathing in place, and nailing it, while trying to keep all your tools, and oneself, from sliding off, was somewhat of a challenge. We found that the best feeling in the world on a project like this is when you get the last piece of roof sheathing nailed, and then complete the roofing underlayment, think roof felt, to make the roof water resistant. This allows one to sleep much better at night, knowing you are done mopping up wet messes inside the house. After the roof sheathing was done, we finished installing the wall sheathing. In addition to the walls being nailed to the subfloor, the building code requires certain sections of the walls, based on shape, to be connected directly to the foundation using specialized metal brackets and straps. This requirement had been added to the code to allow walls to better resist high winds. We found this code section to be very complex and hard to understand. The roof is on, bring on the snow.